A nation scarred violence against women in El Salvador, a small nation nestled in Central America. But beneath its vibrant landscapes lies a dark secret. El Salvador has one of the highest rates of femicide globally. A stark reminder of the vulnerability of women. Imagine living in a constant state of fear. That's the reality for many Salvadoran women. They are trapped in a cycle of violence. The lack of justice is palpable. This is not just a local crisis, it's a global emergency. Their fight deserves our unwavering support. The time for action is now. Trapped in terror, everyday dangers faced by Salvadoran women. The streets of El Salvador tell a silent story. A story etched in fear. Women face a barrage of threats daily. Domestic violence is rampant. It festers behind closed doors, hidden from the outside world. Many women suffer in silence, fearful of speaking out, fearful of the consequences. But domestic abuse is only one facet of this complex issue. Gang violence casts a long shadow over El Salvador. Women and girls are often caught in the crossfire. They are vulnerable to extortion, sexual assault, and human trafficking. The legal system offers little protection. It is often slow and inefficient, corrupt even. This leaves women feeling helpless and disillusioned. They are denied justice. Their voices silenced. The lack of economic opportunities further exacerbates their vulnerability. Many women are forced into low-paying jobs. They are trapped in poverty, making them easy targets for exploitation and abuse. A legacy of silence, historical and cultural roots of gender inequality. The roots of violence against women in El Salvador run deep. They are entangled with the nation's history and culture. The country has been plagued by civil war and political instability. This has created a culture of violence, a culture where might often makes right. Traditional gender roles exacerbate the problem. Women are often viewed as subservient to men. They are expected to conform to rigid societal norms. This creates an environment where violence against women is tolerated, even accepted. The Catholic Church, a powerful force in El Salvador, has often reinforced these traditional views. It has historically opposed women's rights, including access to contraception and abortion. This has limited women's autonomy and control over their own bodies. The legacy of this history is palpable. It permeates Salvadoran society. It prevents women from achieving equality. It allows violence to continue unchecked. Section 4. Voices from the Abyss. Personal stories of courage and survival. Behind the statistics are real women. Women with names, with families, with dreams. Their stories are heart-wrenching. They are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Maria, a young mother, endured years of abuse at the hands of her partner. He controlled her every move. He isolated her from her family and friends. She lived in constant fear. One day she found the courage to escape. She fled with her children to a shelter. Carmen, a student, was kidnapped by a gang on her way home from school. She was held captive for weeks, subjected to unimaginable horrors. She managed to escape, but the trauma haunts her. She lives in hiding, too afraid to return to her normal life. These stories are not isolated incidents. They are the reality for countless women in El Salvador. They are a stark reminder of the human cost of this crisis. Section 5. Seeds of Hope. Initiatives, challenging the status quo. Despite the challenges, there are glimmers of hope in El Salvador. Grassroots organizations are working tirelessly to combat violence against women. They provide shelter, legal aid, and counseling to survivors. These organizations are raising awareness about the issue. They are challenging cultural norms and advocating for legal reforms. They are giving a voice to the voiceless. They are empowering women to break free from the cycle of violence. The government has also taken some steps to address the issue. It has passed laws against domestic violence and femicide, but implementation remains weak. More needs to be done to ensure these laws are enforced. International organizations are also playing a crucial role. They are providing funding and support to local initiatives. They are putting pressure on the Salvadoran government to take stronger action. Section 6. A call to action. Urgent need for global solidarity and support. The fight for women's rights in El Salvador is far from over. It demands urgent attention from the global community. We must break the silence and shed light on their plight, amplify their voices and demand justice. Governments must prioritize ending violence against women, provide funding for support services and legal reforms. We can all play a role in this fight, support organizations on the ground. Use our voices to demand change. The women of El Salvador deserve to live free from fear. Stand with them for dignity and respect.